Alright, what's up guys? This is Lake Demon. Finally getting around to making my SAPA escape tutorial. I'm mainly going to be using my SA313 and a little bit of my PA314 just to show the differences between the two. But yeah, this is just going to be using the world record strat. It's not too difficult. I think anyone can get completions with this strat. Not really worth doing anything less optimal than this, so starting off with the cinema doesn't really matter too much as long as you don't cut it too late. I cut it right after it sets property, I think.
You can't
This
take
one.
that. It's government property.
And I wouldn't cut the cinema any later than this, or else the mines won't be spawned later on in the level. So as long as you cut by then or before then, you'll be fine. So starting off, you're just gonna right strafe out of the cinema and turn left a little bit. So you line up with the door like this. You want to be facing to the left of the crack for right about here, so the doors will open for you. If you face over here, they just won't open. You'll have to restart. So you see up through there, and then I left strafe through here. You can also right strafe. You can check out other people's videos to see that, but you just have to make a really hard turn here if you right strafe. So I just do left strafe. It's probably like a few tenths slower, but it just makes it so you just have to turn a little bit to see up here. So for the guard kill here on SA, I would probably just do like 3 or 4 shots to kill him. If he rolls out of the way like I think he does, yeah, like he does in my video here, I just strafe around him and just hope he doesn't shoot you later. But yeah, just try and kill him in a few shots and start strafing again as soon as possible. So once again, you can also do this a few different ways. I'm just going to show you how I do it. I just left strafe and make kind of a tight turn around there, and then line it up so kind of want Elvis to bounce off the wall here, and then end up on the left side of the door when he gets into his little zone past this door. So you want to release pretty early, because if you release too late, then he'll get to the door before it opens. And then, yeah, so I just turn right strafe and then make it to this line here, and then just turn back around and left strafe.
Good work, Joe.
Left strafe all the way up to the door here, so I can open it as soon as possible, and then switch to right strafe after I've opened it. Anything before 23, opening this door is fine. Ideally, you get like low 22, but.
They're getting suspicious of me.
And then for this guard kill, I just see up and kill him in as few shots as possible to get back into strafe as soon as possible. The inside here of this circle is pretty sticky. You can get stuck here really easily, so if you're not really confident in your lines around here, I would just stick to the outside just to be safe. And then you want to try and get it so you cut this corner here as tight as possible. You can get stuck at this corner right here, but that's just kind of unlucky. There's not too much you can do to avoid it other than, like, you can just let go of the C buttons really quickly and then start up again if it happens, but I would just restart if it happens.
Hurry.
So you want to open this door and go through the left side. Obviously it's quicker. And then make a hard turn. You have to, whoops. You have to start pressing Z for the tranquilizer a little early. Probably about right here. And then just turn into him. And then you want to start turning out again as soon as possible so you don't get stuck on this barrel right here. Or this box right here. So as soon as you pick up the Super Dragon, you want to back switch. If you don't back switch or are bad at back switching or whatever, you can just pause, I guess. It loses a little bit of time. But either way, you want to pause anyways once you start pulling out the Super Dragon to get a quick draw. And then for this open door here, I just open it, turn, and then just do C back or C down, and line up for this kill here. Start turning as soon as you can and switching functions as quick as possible so that you have as much time as you can to kill this guard. On SA, I usually don't even bother reloading because it only takes a few bullets to kill this next guy, but on PA you're probably going to need to pick up this guy's ammo and reload because you have less ammo and it takes more ammo to kill him. So that would just be a back switch, forward switch. Once again, you could pause, I guess, if you need to, but... So you kill this guy, switch to grenade launcher, and then I enter this here in left strafe still, and then switch to right strafe once I get past this barrel. You can just do all right strafe here if it's easier for you. So for this is kind of important time save. You want to do this shot in the corner here so that it doesn't knock this barrel into your path, because if you shoot like over here, it'll knock the barrel in your way and you'll lose speed, and it'll also make things harder for you later when you're trying to push John through here. So you want to get that shot all the way in the corner and then make a hard turn to get through here without getting stuck on the barrel at all. And then for these doors, I do a little turn before each of the doors so you don't get stuck on them. I don't know if it actually saves that much time, but for the turns I just, at the shadow, or at the line where the shadow ends, I just make a little turn to the right and then you turn back left after you've gone through the door. So like that. You want to make sure you don't run into this barrel. Yeah, now I'm going to switch to my PA vid here because I do this section better on PA. But yeah, so this shot doesn't really matter too much. Just make sure you kill him. This shot, once again, you want to shoot it in the corner so this shot doesn't, first of all, injure you and also slow you down. So, and then for this shot, yeah, you want to aim somewhere around here and then just shoot as soon as you turn the corner in this area. Ideally, you just goes directly on the floor here and kills them as soon as possible so you don't have to slow down at all. If you bounce it like high off the wall, you might have to slow down so you don't get injured by this explosion. And then, so you want to John to see you. 53 or 54 something's pretty good. 55's fine too. It's really, the start isn't as important as like the luck and things in the end later on, so.
Over here.
I just strafe him twice, it's not that important. The important thing is to stay close to him until and look directly at him until he says, we need to get back to our friends. Otherwise, if you like start going away too early, or if you don't look directly at him, it can either take him longer to say the message, or he just won't say it at all, and you'll have to move closer to him again. So as soon as Objective 2 comes up on the screen, I like wait a half second or second or so and do 2 shots here to kill these 2 spawning guards. You want to be positioned where I am here. It's actually pretty important to getting fast Johns here. Here, I could have been a little closer to the wall, but stick to the wall here and then just do a back left strafe around this corner and then back right strafe around that corner. So John takes tight lines around here. Otherwise, if you like go really wide and bang against this wall and stuff, he'll take his time and be really slow in this next part. So ideally, he's like already right around here when you're turning this corner here. Alright, so switch back to SA now. So for these 4 spawning guards, you just want to make sure you don't like hit this door as it's opening, or else they're going to like bounce off of it and won't kill any of them. So you just want to make sure this is all the way down, then just try and shoot at their feet here. Take all 4 of them out in one shot. Then you want to get back to this door as soon as you can. Excuse me. So that you can look back at John as fast as possible. And then I move back and forth left and right here. Just I found that it makes John run directly to you way more often instead of like running over here. So as John approaches, you want to kind of back off, because if you're too close, he'll stop moving. So you want to back off until he gets all the way to the wall, and then move back close to him to start the push. For the push, it can vary a little bit based on like what direction he's looking and everything, but usually I just like do it so I can see his whole arm here. But yeah, you'll kind of get a feel for it if you do it. And then when you get here, you might need to turn a little bit left when you get past this ledge here to make sure you're on the left side of him so he doesn't fly behind you. And then when the wall changes, that's when I use as an indication to start changing to right strafe to get around this corner and kill the guard. And then I do a quick little turn back and pause and switch to Super Dragon. And then you also want to shoot this barrel out of his way. If you don't, he can get stuck on it. It doesn't happen too often anyways, but it's just better to be safe than sorry. So you want to make sure you're back strafing there so you're looking at John as much as possible. So for here, you should probably start turning around like even sooner than I do here. Like probably want to start turning around here because the tranquilizer guards can be like all the way up right here. It can kind of ruin your run if John sees him, obviously. So, but anyways, you just need to turn around. I use a few pause buffers just to make sure I kill them as quickly as possible and get back to looking at John. There shouldn't be more than 2 guards here. Kill them at the beginning. So once again, you can also pause buffer for this shot to make sure there's not a trank guard right in front of the door here. That can ruin runs also. Just shoot them and take them out. And then once John starts moving towards you from that, just back strafe. You want to take a good line here as well and end up like right in the middle of where John's gonna plant the explosives, so that he can sometimes like follow you if you take a bad line and you lose a few seconds. Just John having to move these like few feet from like here to here, here to here. So
Right when you come on.
so this is where it starts to vary for SA and PA a little bit. For SA, you're just going to strafe over, get the mines, shoot the door a few times, and then plant the mine right here. And then pull your Super Dragon again, and then you just defend John. Should be about 35 or 36 seconds from when John starts the protect sequence to when he finishes. So you can also tell if you have music on just by a few seconds after when the music stops. So yeah, SA is pretty simple and safe. For PA, it's a little crazier and riskier.
Right when you
You have to right away go over to get the med pack. So I just shoot a few explosives on the way there. Hit the console or whatever here for the med pack. On the way back, there will usually be a few guards that spawn here again. You really want to try your best to take all of them out if you can. It'll just make the ending way easier and way less likely to get trolled by like John seeing guards or Elvis dying at the end. So I get kind of unlucky here on my PA run. There's 3 guards here, but I'm able to get through them and take all of them out with these explosive shots. Yeah, that's pretty ideal. You do need to, you can't waste too much time trying to kill them though, or else you'll be late to getting back, because you still might have to kill a few guards once you get back here. So just try and keep moving, but also kill the guards if possible. So get through here, take out the guards as quickly as you can. If you can, get some shots on the door here. For SA2, get some shots on the door here right before you go to move on to the next part, because there can be some guards just standing right behind the door. But take out these guards, and then you're going to pick up the mines and pull them out as soon as you can. And plant them. Same spot you do in SA, right over here. So, alright. Getting back to this part. You just want to pause buffer until you see John start to move. And then you can just do the shot. I turn and then left straight. You want to take a good line here if you can while taking out this guard. If you take a bad line and kind of get stuck around here, the console guard over here can see you and kind of ruin things at the end for you. So just try and make sure you take a good line. This shot's not too difficult. Switch to med pack. So I'll try and quickly explain kind of how the med pack works. So basically, once you apply the med pack, there's going to be a guard that spawns that determine when the med pack gets finished. Whenever he dies is when it finishes. So he can spawn in one of 2 places. He'll either spawn up here to the right, behind this door right here, or he'll spawn right over here, by where we plant. This is why we plant this mine here. So ideally what happens is you plant the med pack, pull out the remote mine, throw a remote mine right here so that I can kill any guards running out here and the guards behind the door. And when you detonate it, it should also, hopefully, if he spawns upstairs, that mine that we planted upstairs will kill him. And then you'll see the med pack completes. A lot of the time it won't work because the guard doesn't always spawn right away after you apply the med pack, or he spawns upstairs and runs away before we detonate the mine upstairs. So it can be kind of troll. It's basically luck. Even if you execute everything right, you won't get instant med pack completions very often. But yeah, it's just kind of how the level goes. Okay, so after the cinema is over, for TTs, 224 or better is probably world record pace, I would say. Well, let's see what I get here. Yeah, I get like a 224 something here, and this ending's really good. So yeah, I'd say like 224 or so is world record pace. Could probably, the best I've had is like a 222. But you could probably get even better if you get a really good John and everything before this. I guess I'll show on my PA run. I kind of mess it up. I don't pull out the mine, and so I can't really get it out in time to kill these guards over here. So I just decided to detonate the mine upstairs immediately and hope the guard spawned upstairs, and he did. So that's just kind of a backup strat. If you mess that up in whatever way, you can still just try and detonate it as soon as possible and see if the guard upstairs dies. But anyways, after the cinema, you want to pull back out your last remote mine and open this door here as soon as you can, and then turn back towards John and Elvis as soon as you can, so that they start moving as soon as possible. Elvis can kind of spin around here and mess around and lose you some time, but it's just all the luck of the ending here. Ideally, this isn't perfect, but he moves pretty fast here in this run. Just runs to the left a little bit and hits this point, and then runs back to the right and runs straight out. So that wasn't too bad. You want to just make sure you keep this door open until Elvis can get through it without it closing on him. And then you want to look up here and kind of check and see if there's any guards right here. You want to throw this mine as soon as possible and detonate it. If not, I'd recommend just waiting a second or two here before you throw it. Just because if you throw it right away and detonate it, sometimes John will still be like right here when the guards start coming out after the explosion, and he can still see them and ruin the run. So if you delay it a second or two, he should always be like past here. But if there's a guard already there, then you just have to detonate it right away and just hope John doesn't see any of the guards up there. So after you detonate the mine, you have to get ready to push Elvis. For this first segment here, I don't really try and push him at all, just kind of follow him, because he has a really high tendency to spin around if you try and push him at all in this early segment here. But you kind of want him to go along just to the left of this red line here, just kind of like this. And then once you get to about here, just kind of along the red line. But yeah, if he stops at all, that's the only time I start pushing him. Otherwise, if he's walking or jogging for this first part, just don't push him at all. Then once he gets about right here, I just start pushing him anyways, because once he gets to about this point, he's a lot less likely to spin around. So you kind of push him, and then along the red line. But as you get about past here, you can start pushing him in towards here a little bit. And he shouldn't spin around at all. And then once he gets past this wall here, you just try and push him straight there. You can kind of push him a little bit to the left like I do here, and push him kind of against the wall to make it easier. But if you really push him against the wall, he starts trying to spin around to the right, which can make it really hard to push him. So you don't want to push him too much to the left.
Oh no!
So yeah, I get a high 239, which is high 313 pace. When the speech starts between Elvis and John. So after you get him pushed there, you have to take out the console guard, and then you just want to start getting John over to the wall as quick as you can. I know a lot of people have trouble with this push here, but you can pause buffer if you need to.
But no more.
Oh, one thing you can do to kind of help you with this John push is after the dialogue starts, you can kind of try and push Elvis like out of the way, like off to the left or off to the right of John here, just so when you're pushing John here, you don't have to worry about Elvis getting in the way. But yeah, so you just get him over to the wall as soon as possible, and then you can kind of look up a little bit if you hear a guard or anything. But I wouldn't really worry about the guards at all on SA or PA unless you're either really low on health or the guard's like directly in your way, like in melee range of you and John. Otherwise, I just ignore him until you get John over to the ramp here, and then you can take him out. So as far as the ending goes, all that really matters is that you try and get John anywhere on the ramp. Once he's like to right here, pushing him any further doesn't really help much.
One of us will have to stay behind.
So yeah, so after you get him pushed onto here, kind of try and clear out any guards if they're up here, because they can kind of troll John if they block his path. but you're just waiting until
can't leave
this
you
"but we can't leave you behind" line starts. That's when you start
behind.
moving from
There
here.
must be a way out of here.
And if you got John to the ramp, you can press B twice on this console, about a second after John's last, like about a second after he says doors from the line there. Just, you can just mash B. I usually just mash B, but you just need to make sure you get at least 2 B presses on this, and then leave right away. If you didn't get John all the way to the ramp, you should delay the presses even more than like a second. Probably, yeah, I mean, no more than 2 seconds if you get John like anywhere past like this point here.
Anyone who can.
Yeah, like this point here. Yeah. Yeah, like even this right here, you probably don't need to wait much more than a second at the ending here, but you just approach here, keep speed on the console, and just mash B. Make sure you get at least 2 presses in, and then you just turn. And you can kind of take a good angle here to press the console as soon as possible. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, the ending and everything for PA really isn't much different besides just having to be a little more careful with the guards at the end, because you're probably going to have less health and much more danger of dying. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Let me check the notes here real quick. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the run. I got 313 SA, 314 PA as untieds, which are pretty solid runs. I think I would say they're tier 4 world records. But I plan on getting them both down at some point in the near future. I'd say 311 SA, 312 PA would be pretty acceptable world records with these strats. There are 2 strats out there that I haven't really been tested too much on console. I haven't got around to testing them yet. I don't think even best case scenario they'll say more than like a second or 2, and neither one seems like you could get them too consistently, so I'll probably only really look into doing them on Agent. But besides that, hope this helps. If you have any questions, you can just leave me a message on Discord or catch one of my streams, or just leave a comment below in the video. Thanks for watching.